Up against Conley, and will Ohio State start in the zone to try to protect Oden?
Tonight's game is brought to you in HDTV by Harris Corporation, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television and mobile media. The officials are Tony Green, Edward Corbett, and the man tossing it, Carl Hess. Ohio State and Florida for the national championship. And Hess worked the first game, Billy, back December 23rd in Gainesville. The one won by the Gators convincingly, 86-60. That's Horford taking a jumper outside, and Lewis with the rebound as the Buckeyes boxed.
The first thing we saw there, they were playing man-to-man Ohio State, and Oden did not come out to try to help out and stay away from foul trouble where he's been in trouble going outside on the perimeter defensively.
Quick shot by Lewis. He struggled with his shot in this Cavernous Arena on Saturday. It's Noah working on Harris. They're not going to count the basket, but they're going to whistle the call against the senior from Springfield, Ohio, Harris.
Jim, this is why I thought Ohio State would start in his zone, because Harris has given up an awful lot of size to Noah. It's a tough matchup. Noah's down inside, easy on Lewis now.
It could have been maybe an easy get there, but a steal instead. It's Conley with Humphrey trying to defend, and the first points of the championship game to the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Brewer right back from the wing, and he bangs home a three.
Just as he did the other night, a tremendous start for Brewer. Brewer is going to be on Lewis. So Green and Conley.
And another whistle down low. And this call is against Horford.
How about this? Richard off the bench immediately.
Yeah, they rotate those three with Richard coming off the monster performance. 7 of 7 from the field against UCLA, 16 points.
But Jim, that's something I didn't want to see early in the game. The referees calling ticky-tack fouls in tight. Got to let the big guys play at talent level here.
Didn't want to see that Saturday either, but they certainly monitored that one a little too close for my comfort. Here's Harris, and he hits the three.
And Jim, how about Conley? Takes it inside, never is in a hurry. As Coach Wooden always said, be quick, but don't hurry. Well, he personifies that perfectly.
The high give to Noah. Work it outside. Brewer going to launch it again. And two Buckeyes battling for it. Oden saves it.
Good hustle by the big man.
Well, this issue you talk about, Billy, will they let the big guys play? That really the biggest concern on the floor. That would have to be for Ohio State. And can Oden stay in the game this time?
Well, you can see what Richard's doing. I think Billy Donovan said if they're going to call it tight, they're going to bring Richard in there quickly, and maybe I can use 3 or 4 fouls on Richard before I bring Horford back in the ball game.
Oden with only 20 foul-plagued moments or minutes in the game against Georgetown. He misses his first attempt here tonight. Green, short. Green really beat him up pretty good in the game at Gainesville. Had 24 to top the Gators.
He did, but he did not have a good game against UCLA. Carlson gave him all kinds of trouble.
Great job defensively that time as Noah tried to go up with it, and Harris took it away. Lewis hoping to find his shot, but not this time. Stolen by Noah.
Got numbers.
Humphrey have to give it up here as he drives in for the layup.
You know, Humphrey is not a guy that's a big finisher. I think Harris should have tried to go and block that shot. It'd be one thing if you got Brewer on the wing or you've got Noah on the wing, but you're not going to have a finish by Humphrey. That was blockable. Richard really using that body on the inside on Oden.
It's Harris again, this time for the senior. Green comes down low for the rebound. A lot of speed in that little matchup. Point guards, Brewer, turns, twist, miss. And again, Harris very active on that end of the floor.
He was. Noah should have been ready to go ahead and rebound that from the weak side, and there goes the man again.
Conley goes the distance.
Noah's exhausted right now. He's trying to get a second breath. He's looking for Billy Donovan to get him out of there. He's really winded right now. But Donovan already has taken Horford out. He doesn't want to take Noah out at this point.
Going to bring in Walter Hodge. Horford's going to come back in as well. Called that foul on Conley. And trying to repeat. Oklahoma State the first to do so. Duke the last. And of course, that 1960 stretch that spilled into the 70s for UCLA that's beyond description.
Yeah, there's some real people there. Bob Curlin, the great first big man in college basketball, leading Oklahoma State, and Coach Iva. He was the guy that got it all started with repeats.
Not with the long shot. Curlin is here tonight in attendance. Was here for the Hall of Fame announcement earlier today as Roy Williams of North Carolina was one of those announced. Going in, there's Oden with a little finger roll, and the big center is on the board.
And there, people said, well, you know, I wonder how he liked using the left hand while he couldn't use the right. He showed you how right there. It's been amazing how he has changed now that he's got two hands, but his stats are about the same as the game goes on. We'll get into that a little bit. You notice how he's not coming out on a hedge move.
Green gets by. There's no one there for the last stand.
Now, that is something that Billy Donovan has picked up right away. Oden normally comes out there to help when there's a solid screen on the guard. He's not doing it now, so it allows Green to go right over that solid screen inside. But they don't want Oden getting in trouble on the perimeter.
Harris jammed over to Butler. Down low, Lewis. Humphrey trying to defend, and he got him from behind. We reach our first break. The national championship game is underway. Conley has 4. Brewer hits another one from the outside. This is in October at Midnight Madness. Holding up one of the national championship trophies, Billy Donovan with the glass sphere. And look out, the Siemens trophy. It was only a replica. What a great spoof that was.
Al Horford thought it was the real thing. He was almost panicked for a second.
He was boxing out. Did you notice that? And Conley's sitting down, Billy, coming out of this break. They bring in Daquan Cook, a freshman, top 6 man in the Big Ten this year. Good hands by Oden. Brewer now reaches in.
Is he quick? Oden not used to seeing a guy 6'9" that quick out on him. As I said, Brewer can guard any 5 players on the floor.
Great shot by Hodge. Now they take Conley out with Hodge on the floor. And
you know, Jim, guys are sitting in, and Florida goes to a 2-3 zone even before. And Thad Matta said, no, I don't want to see this zone. He was going to call a timeout. His players didn't recognize it.
Oden was down here signaling for it for a couple of seconds. Had the timeout signal high in the air. They've also brought in, talking about the Buckeyes, Othello Hunter, 45, and this man passing it is David Lighty, coming off a big 25-minute performance against Georgetown. Block shot.
That was Brewer blocking an Oden shot from distance. Jim, he's listed at 6'9", and he's every bit that. But with his arm span, he's almost a 7-footer on the floor.
That's Horford. And on Hunter, trying to out-muscle him, and Oden able to just grab a flat-footed rebound.
Hunter, another guy with a long wingspan.
Lighty goes corner, but he is fouled on the pass. And Noah's about to check back into the Gator lineup.
Well, we've got 3 freshmen on the floor. We've had a situation with 5 freshmen in a championship game in that Fab 5 of Michigan, Jim. You remember 2 years in a row they made it as freshmen with 5 on the floor. The only champion that ever had 4 freshmen on the floor was that Utah squad back in 1944. So Ohio State playing plenty of freshmen out here.
Well, that Fab 5 team in Michigan was Duke beat them, and that was the last time we had back-to-back championships by a team as Cook scores on the inside. Cook did not have a good game on Saturday, Billy, but gets a confident start there. He missed a bunch of outside shots against the Hoyas.
Jim, but he is a young man that can score. He had 6 20-point games in the first 13 games Ohio State played this year.
Now Noah. He draws the foul on Hunter.
This is the best matchup, though, that Ohio State can have with Hunter and Oden down low.
Near the end of this game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team, and to honor their determination and outstanding play, Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. America's brand supporting America's best, Chevy, the American Revolution. 2 coming for Noah.
There is that sidewinder shot of the MOP from last year. Jim, look up at the scoreboard. 13:38 to go. Oden is on the floor and doesn't have a foul. Which, you remember that the other day? It was 1 minute and 38 seconds.
Had 2.
He was sitting on the floor with sitting on the bench with 2. Good sign for Ohio State.
He averaged only 7 minutes, Billy, of playing time in the first halves of the last 3 games. So
you see how Florida now trying to get a little bit of defensive pressure. Tough to get it on this man.
Now Brewer, he's taking one away from Oden. He was trying to strip Conley this time. He's doubled up.
And that's that width. of Brewer, even for a guy like Conley, making it tough to get a passing angle.
Boy, Oden wants it. He got Noah on his back, and that's going to be one on Noah.
The game is being called very close on the inside. Now, what Billy Donovan is trying to get it to be called close on the other end of the floor. Oden doing a really good job tonight, staying out of foul trouble. But one of the things I think is available on the other end, if Oden's not going to come out to help on those solid screens, they're going to be jump shots for Ohio State.
Oh, and this is going to be one against Ohio State for pushing off, trying to gain position. It's a second on Hunter.
A lot of touch fouls down in low. Referees not letting them play at all. The coaches and the players are going to have to respect that.
Brings in Matt Terwilliger. You know, this is something today. Bill Walton, the great, who was here tonight as just a super fan, great supporter of college basketball. He said, you know, Billy, they went to 3 officials so many years ago, but they didn't up the number of fouls. We got
Brewer's down.
He's down on the baseline. Tremendous pain.
He really is in pain. You know what this reminds me of? A player of Brewer's status, Bobby Wilkerson, going down in 1976 for Indiana when Bob Knight had an undefeated team ready to go for a national championship.
Watch the right side of your screen here, Billy. As Brewer coming through.
Just kind of gets an inadvertent elbow by Oden. Nothing intentional whatsoever.
You know, he's walking it off now.
Shot. Of course, you get hit by a man that's 276 pounds right in the chest, it'll hurt.
I was going to say, though, they went to 3 officials in college basketball, you know, good 15 years ago, but they did not up the number of fouls. You know, the Big East for a while experimented with 6.
And that hurt their confidence.
Is it time, though, for that to be a consideration? You got another set of eyes, people out there trying to justify their job. They're calling things so tightly as Humphrey takes his first attempt.
I've never understood why a guy has to be taken out of the game anyway. It doesn't happen in any other sport.
I mean, never a maximum number of fouls.
Just go ahead and play. And maybe give an extra penalty bonus for a foul shot for the fouls he commits thereafter.
Here's Oden. Over Horford. Traveled first.
Traveled, but a pretty good move, and give Horford some credit for not pushing or trying to block the shot.
Brewer back in, so it was just a momentary injury for Brewer. Shakes it off.
And how about Thad Matta talking to him, hoping that he's okay. Great sportsmanship sign here by Thad.
And the Florida starting 5 back on the floor.
Now again, if Horford sets a screen, now watch what happens. Oden does not come out, so Green can get jump shots. Again, see, he can get the jump shot.
Oh, and he was fouled in the act of a 3.
This can be an offense all to its own for Florida. Set screens by Horford. Oden's not coming out. You get a jump shot very easily.
We got, more notably, though, the second foul on Conley. So the first one to get in a little foul trouble. No one serves college sports fans better than CSTV, the 24-hour college sports network from CBS Sports. To get CSTV, go to CSTV.com. So 2 on Conley, Billy, and that's rather large with 12:16 still to go in the first half.
Jim, the reason there's a foul on Conley, he's not getting help on the big guy in the hedge move to stop that. So he tries to fight his way over the screen, and doing that picks up the foul. So in an attempt to save Oden, it's really putting the guards in jeopardy.
Of course, Butler's going to come in, and he has all kinds of experience, Billy, playing the point prior to this year. So one more shot for Green. Again, he was fouled in the act of a 3-point attempt.
Green had a great game against Ohio State. He was 9 for 12 in that ball game, showed tremendous leadership, 24 points. And Jim, but in that first game, 86-60, that score is not indicative of how well the Buckeyes played up to a point. Then there was a 33-9 run by Florida, and that was the ball game.
That game was 40-40 with 17 minutes to go in the game.
Right.
And then in the words of Thad Matta, we just panicked. We caved in, but we learned from it. Made us better, as you see. Hodge got a hand in there to get the steal. Horford up ahead to him, and 1.
Ohio State has kept Oden out of foul trouble, but they haven't kept the guy that's even more of a key in a ball game like this, Conley, out of foul trouble. And you can see what Florida's doing. They're taking advantage of some shaky ball handling.
That's on Conley's replacement. Well, Butler's a starter, but Butler just came in, returned for him, and Butler picks up his first. Hodge has a chance at the 3-point play.
You can't say enough for Conley's ability to handle the ball and set up the Ohio State offense. As I said, #1 assist in the Big Ten, #1 in assist turnover ratio in the Big Ten. His presence really missed now.
Florida on a 12-2 run.
Great move by Billy Donovan to press against this team that's losing their major ball handler.
Down the lane and laying it in. It's Lighty.
Has he come alive in this tournament, Jim?
Oh, I'm telling you, he's gained confidence every game. Had that really big three-point play just with a tenth of a second to go in the half before the Tennessee game reached the half. It was a 20-point deficit when he made it, gave him a little boost. Of course, they came all the way back to win by 1. What a job he did on Jeff Green, the Big East Player of the Year Saturday. Here's Noah from the free throw line.
Not his shot. He likes to go ahead and take the ball to you with a dribble, then score inside, left alone from 15 feet. He's not going to hurt you. There's the 2-3 zone. When they don't score, they go back to their zone.
Butler, he wants it from the wing.
Good shooter.
And Brewer able to wrestle for the rebound.
Not only get the rebound, but then he can push it up the floor. Good hustle by Oden.
Oden got down the floor to prevent the pass inside to Noah. But the Gators have a big stretch going here. 12-2 run by Florida before the Lighty layup. Gators 6 of 6 from the line. Buckeyes have not had an attempt to this point. Billy Donovan took his team on a retreat, Billy, over Labor Day weekend. Qualified as an international trip. He told his guys, next year, it's going to be all about managing distractions. We are not defending anything. We're not the defending champions. They'll never take that away from us. We can go 0-29. They're never going to take that banner down. And that's been their attitude really all season long. This has nothing to do with what happened last year. We're not defending it.
Jim, that was a good long timeout for Greg Oden. He was extremely tired, had played 10 straight minutes without a foul. But he's going to be playing against 3 people tonight with Richard coming on.